So, what if I told you that one of the most powerful, self-sufficient food systems ever designed could be built right in your backyard? Seriously, we're talking about a system that can feed a family pretty much indefinitely, using a blueprint that's been hiding in plain sight for over 2,000 years. Okay, let's get into this.
It sounds like something out of a movie, right? A small pond, maybe the size of a backyard swimming pool, churning out hundreds of pounds of food year after year. And get this, no heavy feeding, no machines, no chemical fertilizers, just a really clever balance of water, sunlight, and life.
So where did this idea even come from? Well, this is the really cool part. This isn't some new high-tech invention. It's ancient wisdom, a kind of lost art of cooperating with nature. This exact system was actually documented over 2,400 years ago by a Chinese farmer named Fan Li in his book, The Classic of Fish Culture.
And this system didn't just appear overnight. It took millennia to perfect. It started with simple observation, farmers just noticing fish surviving in leftover floodwaters. By 1600 BCE, they were actively fishing in the garden. Then a strange thing happened. An imperial ban on farming carp in the 7th century actually forced farmers to get creative. It led them to raise multiple species together, and boom, polyculture was born, which eventually wrote down for everyone.
Okay, so how does it actually work? Think of the pond as nature's perfect engine, a self-feeding ecosystem. The key is to see it not just as a pool of water, but as a living machine. And its success depends on 4 key players, all working together in this perfect continuous cycle. Let's break down this natural workforce. First up, you've got the ducks. They stir up nutrients from the bottom, and their manure adds nitrogen, which literally jump-starts the entire food chain. Second, the aquatic plants. They're the pond's natural filter, sucking up excess nutrients to keep the water clean. Plus, some of them, like duckweed, become food themselves. Third, the fish. Different species hang out in different layers, eating different things, so there's zero competition, just pure efficiency. And finally, the unseen heroes, the bacteria. They convert all that waste back into nutrients for the plants. It's a perfect, closed-loop system where nothing is wasted.
So, if this system is so brilliant, why did we ever forget about it? Well, this brings us to the backyard revival, bringing this ancient wisdom into our world. For centuries, this knowledge was almost completely lost in the West. When settlers came to North America, they brought livestock systems that needed constant work and inputs. The simple, self-sustaining pond just became a pretty water feature. But that all started to change in the 1960s, when scientists began looking for more sustainable ways to grow food.
And what they found was just astounding. Researchers at Auburn University set up these small 1,000-square-foot experimental ponds. Without any intensive feeding, these tiny ecosystems produced up to 350 pounds of fish every year. That is a huge source of protein for a family. To put that in perspective, it takes a much bigger piece of land to produce just 200 pounds of beef, and that's with immense inputs.
And here's the part that makes this feel so achievable. You don't need a giant farm or a crazy budget. The typical startup cost for a backyard food pond, and we're talking the liner, the fish, the plants, everything, is usually between just $400 and $600. I mean, that's less than what many families spend on groceries in a single month. And once it's up and running, it pretty much takes care of itself.
The real genius of the system is the mix of fish you use, your self-sustaining workforce. Bluegill are the backbone. They reproduce on their own, so you have a continuous supply. Then you have catfish. They're the hardy recyclers, the cleanup crew, feeding near the bottom. And tilapia? They're the rapid growers, just amazing at turning the pond's natural algae and plankton into protein. Together, they create this incredibly stable, productive, and self-maintaining population.
So when you put it all together, why does this ancient system just win compared to so many of our modern methods? Well, the answer is actually really simple. It works with nature, not against it. It's all about less work, more food, and absolutely zero chemicals.
I mean, just look at this comparison. On one side, the pond system. Its main inputs, sunlight and time. It's a self-contained water system, zero chemicals, and hardly any labor after you set it up. Now look at traditional farming. It demands constant feed, medicine, massive water consumption, fertilizers, pesticides, and just continuous, intensive labor. The difference is just stark. And when you look at the actual yield, the efficiency is just undeniable. A small pond system can produce way more protein per acre than even land-intensive cattle farming. You're getting more food from a smaller footprint with just a fraction of the resources. It's an incredible model of natural productivity.
But this goes beyond just the efficiency and sustainability. This system offers something even more profound. It's not just about harvesting food, it's about harvesting a sense of independence and reconnecting with the natural systems that are supposed to support us.
And that's the real point here. The true value isn't just the fish you pull from the water or the eggs the ducks provide. It's the independence. It's freedom from being totally reliant on fragile supply chains, crazy food prices, and crowded supermarkets. It's the security of knowing that a sustainable food source is literally just a few steps from your door.
Which brings us right back to the incredible wisdom of Fan Li from 2,400 years ago. He understood this simple, powerful truth. Nature does not need us to control it. Nature only needs us to cooperate with it. This entire system is proof of that philosophy, that the most powerful solutions are the ones that work in harmony with the world, not trying to command it.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. In a world that feels increasingly complex and uncertain, what if the most resilient, reliable, and healthy food source wasn't in a store or a factory farm, but was thriving quietly right outside your own back door?